Brookfield's vision for Brookfield Place was to create a landmark property similar to those that we're known around the world for. The idea was to create a landmark office and retail product right in the heart of the Perth CBD.
With HASSELL's assistance and the whole consultant and project teams, we've been able to achieve a truly outstanding result, which has not only provided a really cutting-edge piece of architecture for the CBD, but also really reset the benchmark for commercial developments in Perth.
It's make a big statement about the resources industry, whether people like the building or not. It's a very big statement on the horizon. But what it has done is it's filled in a hole that was terrible, a scar in the city for a long time, and it's filled it in brilliantly. The way that the heritage buildings and the activities that happen in there occur and what it's done for the city is a spectacular outcome from a commercial and from an urban design point of view.
We really were focused on designing a building that met BHP's requirements, but also had a longevity beyond the first generation leasing.
HASSELL started off first and foremost with trying to work out what is a great workplace for BHP, what drives them to do their business as well as they possibly can. And through that, the tower evolved as actually having its core on the northern side, having the floor plate completely open to the river where the view is, so they've democratised that view and created a high performance workplace that allows their people to be as effective as they possibly can.
The importance of the choice of HASSELL was their mature thinking, and we had a consistent team from concept right through to delivery.
BHP was actually quite an educated client. They came to us with a very clear list of objectives that they wanted to achieve, that it was about one BHP and it was about equitable space for all of their people.
The point about level 45, which is the staff hub, which is 1,800 square metres of beautifully designed, what looked like pavilions, and HASSELL just outshone themselves in designing this space, is to demonstrate to the BHP Billiton staff that they are the most important assets we have.
Workplace design is about people. Organisations, most of their expenditure is on people as a resource, about 80%. So if a company can actually do the right thing by its people, its investment as an outcome is huge.
We're not just designing a form that from an architectural sense is interesting and then you stuff all the people in. We're actually working from the inside out, understanding what do those people using that space, what do they need, how do you provide it, and then having an architectural response that matches that.
A project of this scale necessitated a highly skilled, dedicated team that was going to work with us on a daily basis to keep the project going.
HASSELL's a multidisciplinary firm, and on a project like this that has the size and the scale, we put all those people together. So we actually sit next to each other. So the ideas that the landscape team are developing allow us to actually grow them and mature them, or work with each other to make sure that we're actually sort of cross-pollinating ideas, and we get a much richer and more robust solution that comes out of that.
Some of the biggest challenges for the whole team on Brookfield Place were really to do with the site, where it sits, the context that was quite complex, from heritage buildings to a 1980s office tower immediately adjacent.
On this project, the heritage buildings were really important. They've got wonderful stories to tell, they've got wonderful textures and finer grain, and they provided a major source of inspiration for us. They also were really important to consider in terms of scale and respecting them. So we had to, I guess, touch the ground very lightly in and around them.
From any vantage point, Brookfield Place stands out very loudly and proudly, and I love the fact that it has such bold architecture, and yet at the ground plane you've got the beautiful, intricate interconnection into the existing heritage fabric along St George's Terrace.
Perth as a community has watched BHP, Brookfield and HASSELL come together to build this amazing tower and the associated heritage development. So before we even got here, Perth was already emotionally engaged with this site. It's a true urban hub here at Brookfield Place.
this building is outstanding. It is the premier building in Western Australia. It is very prominent on the skyline, and as a result of that, our staff, our consultants, our client, our owner are all very engaged in the project and are delighted with the outcome.
It's changed the way that the middle of the city works. I think it's helped Perth grow up.